with, of course, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals yesterday. Is there a greater feeling in sports media than vindication? Than saying something and then having it for, 2 quarters, be like, oh, man, maybe I was wrong. And then the second half happens, and you sit back and you're like, told y'all asses. Oh, man, that was so fun watching. So fun watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just turn it on and just destroy the Wolves. And it's crazy because I'm in a group chat with my buddies, and they were killing him. It was like, the guy's a foul baiter. He's not fun to watch. And every single shot he hit in that second half, like, was that not fun? Was that not fun? How much more fun can it get? And I'm wondering, is this an internet thing, that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not a fun player to watch, or is this he plays in Oklahoma and ipso facto?
It's a combination of things, don't you think?
What do you think?
I think it has to do with him playing in Oklahoma.
Right.
I think he plays – it's kind of – he's a weird player in that the mid-range game is really, really good. He's not, hoisting 3 after 3 after 3 like Steph Curry is. So I think all of that factors in. His style of play and where he plays certainly factors in.
Well, this is his coming out party for me. If he gets to the fight, and OKC's a big favorite, right? Like they're betting on.
I mean, they should be.
Yeah,
Well,
and
yes, except yesterday's ESPN's analytics said the Wolves had a 70% chance of winning Game 1, which I have no idea where that math came from. But
right.
But yes, the betting odds favor the
and I'm coming around on. I've been sort of making fun of this Final Four because it lacks LeBron and Golden State and all that stuff, and Boston. But I'm sort of coming around on OKC and the Knicks as a pretty sexy championship round.
Doesn't this have to happen for us to grow, right? For the sport to grow,
yes.
We have to have this where it's like, I don't know anybody. Well, This is how you get to know new people, and so that we can continue to kind of grow with these people. That's what Anthony Edwards kind of started last year by going to the conference finals. Now this is his second conference final. Same thing for Tyrese Halliburton. They are now ascending to that place where they're going to become household names because of the success.
Yeah, and if you, not to look ahead, but if you get the championship matchup that I want, it's a great contrast. The storied Knicks, who haven't won in a half a century, against an OKC team that is super young and could be around for years. It's just like a great matchup.
So, you're saying the NBA, as fans, we need to turn the page on LeBron and Steph Curry and get used to SGA and Jalen Brunson, guys like that, Halliburton.
You guys remember, Greg and Stugotz, definitely, when Michael Jordan retired the second time, right, in 1998.
Yeah.
There was this whole it happened actually the first time, too, in 93. There was the search for who's going to carry the mantle. And in 94, it was like Grant Hill and a couple other guys, and we were left like so unfulfilled. And then Jordan comes back. It's like, oh, thank God Jordan saved everything.
Shaq and Penny had a run.
They had a run, but
did.
but everyone was like, you're not Michael.
Right, but Shaq was like a larger-than-life character that did kind of take the mantle as far as, Jordan was a talisman of the league and stuff, but Shaq, in terms of being a larger-than-life personality, was transcendent.
He was, and looking back, of course he was. But I'm telling you, at the time, the whole vibe was we're unfulfilled by these people.
No, when Jordan came back, it was a lifeline.
It's like, oh, thank God. Like, we acted like there was nothing. Like, there was just a black hole while he was gone.
Yeah, remember it well.
Right.
And so then he retires the second time, and that same thing. You had Kobe, you had Tracy McGrady, you had Shaq again.
Well, Jeremy was workshopping a take that this may be similar to that, and you may be going down that road. But there were some names that he invoked that I certainly saw similarities on mute last night.
When I'm watching Shay, I see aesthetically, I'm watching Kobe, I'm watching Dwayne Wade. I'm seeing a guy who splits double teams like no one can presently do in the league, that gets to the line. And there's this, you mentioned it, the internet sort of discourse around Shay is, foul merchant. I think that people don't understand the differences in how you can draw fouls and the ways you go about it. And I think James Harden did it in such a way that felt so reckless, like it was cheating the game. He's hooking other guys' arms in, where what Shai does with his body control and his ability to draw fouls feels more like these throwback guards, like Dwayne Wade, except Dwayne Wade was 6'3". Shai is 6'6", and has an even better jumper. And so his ability to control the game from the line, you'll look back. I did it this morning, actually, and went back and looked at Dwayne Wade's playoff box scores, some of Kobe's playoff box scores. You're going to see a lot of box scores that look a lot like what you saw from Shai last night.
And I think the way
That's how you spent your morning?
It relaxes me. Numbers.
Sorry.
I mean, I was preparing for the show that we do for 4 hours. I feel like it was helpful. I added a note, you know.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah. I feel like you would do that if you didn't have a show to prepare for. I mean,
yeah, that's also true.
His hobby, crunching numbers.
That's just his Wednesday.
But it is the way he goes about it, right? Like it's stylistically. I think part of the reason people are feeling so weird about it is they're like, no one's used to watching a player like that in the modern game. I mean, last night, Minnesota took 30 more threes than Oklahoma City, and it's in large part because so much of the game was Shay driving, splitting double teams, and then throwing lobs to other guys because their body movement is unbelievable.
He reminds me a lot of Paul George, too, just a little bit quicker.
His trade partner.
Because he got traded for him?
Yeah. He probably doesn't like that comp because SGA is probably going to win an MVP here. But I to your original point, that take sounds like it's emanating from people that don't necessarily watch, maybe lump themselves into casual observers. I know because I've probably had that take before about SGA because OKC, ever since they moved from Seattle, I just don't care to watch this team. There's just something about the market. They never feel big time. But you can't watch last night's game, even if it was on mute, and not be really blown away by his style. If you're one of those like, oh, bring back 90s basketball type of guys, well, it's right there. It's embodied in SGA. He's really fun to watch.
And to me, I think the aesthetic is that, first of all, you mentioned Kobe and Dwayne Wade, Jeremy. Those guys were explosive.
Right.
He's not.
He's way smoother.
He's like it's all about going off rhythm.
That's
like,
right.
You're just left kind of.
There's two guys in this series that kind of bring back that 90s style. Ant is just way more explosive, which is also fun. There were guys in the 90s that really you couldn't trust their shot, but you can certainly trust their athleticism. He's like Sean Kemp on the perimeter.
Nolan Edwards has become such a three-point shooter.
I looked this up.
The Rain Man.
I know. I love how we can always count on two guys. like
when I'm here. I mean,
well, wait, have you been missing time?
No, Dan has. I mean,
yeah. I looked up guys who led the league in free throws attempted per 100 possessions, right? All time. And first of all, the top 10, 9 of them are from the 60s. Right? So that's not a modern thing. At 10, you get Joel Embiid from a couple of years ago. You get Harden from a couple of years ago. Embiid. And then you get back to Pettit and Robertson, Iverson, Malone, Mike and Malone, Dantley, World Be Free. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is outside the top 30. So it's like he's not egregious, and he's not flopping. He's getting fouled. And that's part of the game. Is like, can you guard me without grabbing me? And him moving in that way is a necessary element to that.
People think he's just falling down and drawing fouls when really, if you watch, he is maneuvering his body down low to the ground, keeping his balance and drawing contact in a way that's not hooking guys in. It's just simply being so athletic and so smooth that he can force people into making contact with him in a way that no one else in the league is capable of.
So you're saying that drawing a free throw has become sort of a lost art that OKC is bringing back because the three ball killed the art of drawing a foul.
I wouldn't say it's a lost art that OKC is bringing back. I'm saying that people complaining about Gilgeous-Alexander doing it are being myopic because this isn't even amazing by historical standards.
Right.
He's one of the best in the league right now. Luka Doncic does it. Jalen Brunson does it. But, like, these guys are all doing it. There's, like, notice a trend here. These aren't guys who are like, he was so fast and explosive, I couldn't help but foul him to guard him. And I think that's part of it is people convince themselves that the type of players that are superstars, the type of players that are unstoppable, the type of players that draw a lot of fouls are jump out of the gym explosion like Michael Jordan. And then you see guys like Brunson and Doncic and Shay, and they don't move like that. They don't look like that. It's like, oh, you're just flopping, basically, is the thing, as opposed to, no, you can't guard me. That's what's happening.